let's start on our backs. I've got my weights either side of my mat, and I'm going to use them soon. I'm going to just lay down with my knees bent, feet on the ground. Reminder that everything should be really safe the whole time. We're going to start, no weights just yet, just reach your arms up to the ceiling. Palms can face forwards towards your feet. And then you're just going to start to inhale and reach your arms back behind you as much as they can go. And then exhale, lift your arms all the way up. So inhale, reach your arms way back as much as your shoulders let you. And then exhale, lift your arms all the way up. One more time. Inhale, arms back. Exhale, arms lift. Now turn your palms in towards center. And then inhale, arms out wide. And exhale, arms lift back, wrists over the shoulders. So inhaling, arms wide. Exhaling, arms lift. Just once more like that. Inhale, arms out. Exhaling, arms lift. Grab onto your weights if you've got them. Reach your arms back to the ceiling. Palms face forward. Then we're going to exhale, lift our hips up and press our arms down all at once. You're coming into your bridge lift. And then exhale, lower your back down and lift your arms. So inhale, reach your hips up, arms push down. Exhale, just slowly lower your back down and lift your arms back up. Keep going, hips lift up, arms press down, back lowers down, arms lift up. Getting the strength for the glutes and the hamstrings, really even on the left and right side. Hips are lifting the same amount either way or either side of the body. Now, the next time that the back lowers down, pause there. Lift your right leg up to tabletop. So knee will be over the hip, shin flat with the ceiling. Now we're going to slowly come to single leg bridge. Much more challenging. Just lift your hips up using just the left hamstring and then lower your back down to the ground. Just keep your arms steady for now. Lift your hips up using just the left glute and hamstring and then lower back down. Likely the hips won't lift as high. Keep trying this just maybe 3 or 4 more times. The bum might just lift off of the ground a little bit. That is okay. It might even not lift up off the ground, but you'll just be getting the strength. Then lower your right foot down and then try for the left leg up. So left knee over the left hip. Now the right glute is working to lift you into your single leg bridge and then lowering you down. Just keep your arms up if you can. If it feels like, oh, I really want the help of my arms on the ground, then you can use your arms on the ground and kind of push your palms into the ground to help lift you up. But if the arms are up, then we know it's just the right glute and hamstring now working to lift the hips towards the ceiling. A lot of strength on the right hamstring. Let's take just one more, a lot of work. And then lower back down, left foot to the ground. Take your weights down to the ground. Reach your right leg straight up to the ceiling. Now hold behind the back of the leg. Just point and flex at your ankle a few times. Notice if you have like a really big stretch through the back of the leg as you extend your leg straight up. It might not be available to get your leg all the way straight. That's no problem. Just point your toes tall to the ceiling, legs as long as possible. Arms come down, single leg lifts, left or right leg floats down, and then exhale to lift back up. Right leg floats down, exhale to lift back up. Now keep doing this. If you want more work, you'll grab onto your weights, you'll reach your arms to the ceiling. Don't stop moving your right leg. And then now as your right leg floats down, let just your left arm stretch back behind you and then lift it all back up. Right leg forwards, left arm stretches back, and then exhale to lift. We're getting a lot of strength through the core. And especially if you're holding on to a weight, you're going to feel a lot of strength in your left arm. It will be strength regardless of if you have a weight or not, just from the weight of the arm itself. But just notice where you feel kind of a challenge throughout the muscles as you take this movement. One more like this. And then as you lift up, we're going to bend our knee, place the right foot to the ground, take your arms to the ground, release your weights if you've got them. Left leg tall, holding at the back of the leg, moving your ankle, pointing and flexing at your foot. Noticing where you feel a stretch. Try and make sure your neck is relaxed so your head is all the way resting on the ground. Relax through the core as we're not needing to use it too much here. We have the support of our arms holding our leg. Now point your toes as tall as you can. Try and get your leg as long as possible. And then use your arms on the ground. And start your leg lifts on the left side. Left leg floats down and lifts up. Left leg down and up. You're strengthening through the low belly and through the front of the hip as you take single leg lift. If after taking a few, you're feeling like, I definitely have the strength to do a little bit more, grab your weights, reach your arms straight up, and then start to reach opposite arm to leg back. So as your left leg floats down, your right arm is just extending back behind you. Left leg down, right arm back. It's all happening together. Try and move slow and with control. Using your breath to help you, exhaling to lift. Let's just take one more like this. When your leg lifts up, you'll bend your knee, foot to the ground. Keep your arms up. We're going to come back to our bridge lift. So roll your hips up to the ceiling. Keep your arms up and then roll your back down to the ground. Rolling the hips up towards the ceiling. Then rolling the back down. Now, as the hips lift, let the arms stretch out wide. So hips will rise up, arms stretch wide, and then the arms close in as the back lowers down. Hips rise up, arms stretch out, and then the back lowers and the arms close. Take 3 more. Take 2 more, equal weight in both legs. Looking to the ceiling so the neck is long. Last one. When your back lowers down, turn your palms forwards and let your arms come down. We're going to lift the chest up about halfway. So we're going to lift up onto our forearms. The elbows are going to be underneath the shoulders. But if you have any shoulder sensitivity, you can keep lying down on the ground. And do the same thing with the legs. Legs are up now in your table. Knees are right over the hips. The thighs are close to the belly, they're forwards. Taking marching, right toes are going to tap down to the ground and lift up. Left toes are going to tap down to the ground and lift up. Watch the thigh bone is really coming forwards and then lifting. The knee is way farther forward than the hip as the toes tap down. So the calf never comes close to the heel. I'll show what I mean by that. We're not just letting the toes come down by bending the knee because you won't get any strength for the core. You won't get extra strength for the core beyond having the legs up. Make sure the knees are coming really far forwards. Keeping the chest lifting up towards the ceiling. If you want a little bit more work, as one leg lifts, let the other leg come down. So this way, both legs would just be continuously moving. You're really light as you tap your feet on the ground, and you're really pushing into your forearms. So you're getting the help of the arms to keep the back long. Otherwise, it is a lot of work for the core. I'm sure you're feeling it. One more either leg, ending with your left leg lifting up. And then let's place one foot to the ground and then the other. You can use your hands. Let's let ourselves sit all the way up, cross your legs, or sit any way that's comfortable. If that means stretching your legs out long, do that. Have your elbows bent. Forearms will turn to face up towards the ceiling. We're just going to lift the arms out with a bent elbow and then close the arms back in tight to the body. So we'll lift the arms up with bent elbow and close the arms in. I'll just turn sideways so you can see where elbows are bent. Arms are just lifting out wide and then coming back in. Elbows are up to the height of the shoulder, and then they're right underneath the shoulder. Keep going like that with the arms. Just from sitting up tall like this, we're getting a little bit of strength through our core. Of course, lifting the arms, you can probably feel it around your shoulders and your upper back. If your weights are anything heavier than, I would say, like 3 pounds, you may end up having to put your weights down to the ground and just do the movement of the arms here. But do as much as you can if you have your extra weights. Hold your arms up this time, and then keep the upper arm bone steady. Just extend the arms out, and then bend at the elbow in. Extend the arms wide, and then bend at the elbow. But the upper arm bone just stays really still. Again, from sitting up really tall, make sure you're not leaning forwards or curling the shoulders forwards or anything as we take the strength for the upper back. Keep going. The arms have been up for a little while. You can probably feel a lot of work there. Let's take 3 more. 1, 2, good. Last one, 3. And when the elbows bend, just let the arms come down. We'll come back to the arms soon. Take the weights off to the side. Let's come into tabletop. So hands and knees. Starting with moving our right leg, keep the knee bent, lift the thigh up, flat with the ceiling, and then let the knee come back down. Lift the thigh up, knee flat with the ceiling, and then let that knee come back down under the hip. Lifting and lowering that leg. The leg stays all the same shape. Keep going, a lot of strength for the glute. A lot of strength for the hamstring. Make sure the left outer glute is, if anything, pulling back and in. Make sure it's not coming out wide to the side on the left side. Trying to keep the pelvis really steady. Just think about that thigh bone moving in the hip here. Last one like this. And then when the knee comes down, leave it there. We're going to start to take our tricep push-ups. Leave your hips right over the knees, bend the elbows and lower your forearms down and then lift back up. So let the elbows come down to the ground and lift back up. Watch at the hips, do not push back. So you're not coming into a child's pose shape. Elbows come down and lift. Keep going. I just have my cat on the balcony and she wants to come inside. Keep going. So the tricep should be feeling it quite a lot right at the back of the arm. Try and take about 4 more. So long as the hips aren't pushing back, then we should, and the elbows are staying narrow, you probably should be feeling some work through the backs of the arms. After your arms straighten, hold there. With a bent knee, left leg lifts, thigh flat with the ceiling, and then knee back underneath the hip. Lift the thigh up, knee in line with the height of the hip, and then back down. You're getting that strength for the back of the left leg and the left glute. Keep looking down towards the ground so that your neck stays long, just in line with the rest of the back. There should be some strength for our core, our arms, our back, and the left hamstring and glute. We take a lot of repetition, so we really fatigue the muscles. Take your last 2 here.
Yeah.
And then once you're done, you're going to come back into downward dog. So hips reach high to the ceiling. Keep holding in your downward dog. I'm just putting everybody on mute so I can't hear your sounds in the background. Don't worry, I've done it for everyone. Good, so you're holding in your downward dog. Now start to come forwards to plank and then back to downward dog. You're just going back and forth a few times, forwards to plank, so just the top of a push-up, and then back to your downward dog, hips tall. Forwards to your plank, and back to your downward dog. One more time, forwards to plank, and back to downward dog. This time we're gonna stay in our plank, but you're gonna let your knees come down to the ground, but you're still long back in plank. Then start to lower your chest all the way down. If you have weights, you can grab them, take your arms back alongside your body, palms turn to the ceiling. We're gonna lift our chest up just a little bit, then lift and lower your arms. Keep your chest up, keep looking down to the ground so your neck is long, and just lift and lower the arms here. Getting strength for our upper back and for the backs of the arms. Then you're gonna hold your arms up. Let just your right arm stretch wide to the right, and then pull it in close to the body. Let your left arm stretch wide to the left, and then pull it in close to the body. Right arm out and in, left arm out and in. The chest is up. Keep alternating arms. The arms do not rest down to the ground unless you're really needing a rest. One more either side, right and left, and then lower the chest all the way down, release your weights, come back into tabletop. We're still gonna use our weights, drive your knees underneath the hips, come down onto your forearms for now so that we don't tire the wrists too much. Grab your weight with your right hand and stretch your right arm back behind you. So we're gonna continue work for the backs of the arms. Lift your right arm and then lower it down. As we do this in our tabletop shape, we're gonna get more strength for our core compared to when we're lying all the way down on our belly. We're still getting strength for upper back, core, and the back of the arm here. The next time that your arm is up, you're gonna just start to pulse the arm up. You can have a weight or no weight, just the weight of your arm will be heavy. Keep going. 3 more pulses, 1, 2, and 3. You're lowering that weight down, come back into your tabletop, and then just moving cat and cow. So belly sinks low, and then belly to back, chin to chest. Belly sinks lower, tail and chest lift, and then belly to back, chin to chest. Come to a neutral spine, a flat back, and then let's, between sides, lift up into a high kneeling. Let's grab our weights. You're up on your knees. You're just going to lift your arms out and down. Good. Lift your arms out and down. We'll add on slow, but you can always come back to this motion. Arms lift and lower. The next time that your arms lift up, hold them there. Bend just your right elbow, hand comes towards the chest or shoulder, and then open the arm up. Bend just your left elbow, hand comes towards the chest, and then open it back up. Right and left. Right and left. One more either side, right and left. Now hold your arms wide. You're gonna draw your arms in just a little bit so they're more like a V shape. Then you're gonna bend the elbows back and then push the arms forwards. Bend the elbows back and then push the arms forwards. 3 more. Bend and stretch. Try and keep your back long. Bend and stretch. Last one. Bend and stretch, and then let your arms lower all the way down. Take your weights to the ground. I'm going to turn this way so you can see my moving arm. You're going to come down onto your forearms. Elbows are right underneath the shoulders. And then take a weight into your left hand and take your left hand back by your knee. You're going to start to lift now and lower your left arm, a straight arm. Trying to have the hips over the knees and trying to have the right elbow underneath the right shoulder. Trying to look down to the ground here. Neck is long. A lot of work for our upper body today. The next time that the arm lifts, you're going to keep the arm up and then you're just pulsing the arm up. If you need to put your weight down, no problem. Take about 4 more lifts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lower the arm all the way down. Now come back up onto your hands. Let's take our hands all the way forward and then tuck our toes, go into downward dog again. Hips tall to the ceiling. This time just pedal out through your legs so you bend one knee and then the other, shifting weight side to side. Good, and then hold your legs steady. Bend your knees a lot so that you come back down to table. You're going to take your hands back towards your knees. You're lifting yourself into high kneeling again. You might want to tuck your left toes behind you so that you have more support to step your right foot forwards in your low lunge. We're going to start to lift our back knee up off of the ground. If it feels too wobbly, use a chair beside you or hold onto a wall beside you. You're bending a lot into your front knee, so the knee is about over top of the ankle. Then we're going to work on the strength for the right hamstring. We're going to start to straighten the front leg from using strength from the hamstring, and then bend back into the knee. So the back of that front leg is working to push you back. Keep going, 2 more times. Straightening that front leg. We also have a lot of work for our stability and balance at our ankles. The next time that you bend into this knee, you're going to also bend your back knee until it comes back down to the ground. Take your left hand down to the ground, right arm up to the ceiling in a low lunge with a twist. And then place your right hand outside of your right foot. Step your right leg back. So you're back to your tabletop, walk your hands back towards your knees, then you just lift back up into high knees. You might tuck your right toes now. You're going to step your left foot forwards in your low lunge. And then you're going to start to lift your back knee up off of the ground. Again, you can hold onto a wall beside you or a chair. And then you're going to start to use the strength through the back of the front leg. You're pushing that leg straight or pulling that leg straight, and then re-bending the knee until the knee is about over the ankle. Pushing that leg straight, and then re-bending the knee. Leg comes long, looking at the same spot, probably not to the screen where you see me moving. Look at somewhere that's still. One more time, drawing that leg long, and then re-bending your knee. Now, when you're back to your high lunge, you're going to bend the back knee to come back to a low lunge, right hand to the ground, left arm up towards the ceiling in your twist and your lunge. And then lowering your left hand outside of your left foot, taking your left knee back, and then walking your hands back to your knees. Lift all the way into high kneeling. Turn sideways on your mat. So you've got lots of space beside you on your mat. You're going to step your right leg out to the side, out long. My ankle is in line with where my hip is if I were to draw a straight line down. Arms are going to come out wide. Then I'm going to lean my right leg straight. I'm going to lean to the left. My left fingers are going to come down to the ground. I'm going to start to lift my right leg up any amount and then lower it down. Lift my right leg up any amount and then lower it back down. Lift and lower lift, and lower. 2 more, lift, and lower. This time you're gonna hold your leg up. So lift, and then just pulse the leg at the top. The top might be down near the bottom, but any amount, the leg is just pulsing up. Take 3 more lifts. 1, 2, 3. You're gonna lift all the way back up. Hands to the hips. Draw your right knee in. Make sure there's space beside you on the left to straighten your left leg wide. Arms come out long. You're gonna lean the right hand to the ground, but you're keeping the sides long. Left arm is tall, and then you're gonna lift and lower the left leg. Notice if it's easier on one leg, if maybe the side of the glute is easier, maybe you is stronger, maybe you have more mobility at your hip to let your leg lift up. Just notice side to side the differences. Keep going. So we're getting strength for the outer glute, we're getting strength for the sides of the waist and the supporting shoulder here. Just on my fingertips on the bottom hand so that I can really extend the length of my arm, which makes the ground closer. The next time the leg's up, just pulse the leg at the top. Small lifts. You might even just hold the leg steady, whatever feels good. Take 2 more pulses. 1 and 2. And then lower the leg down, lift the chest and arms all the way up, and then take that leg and take your arms down. You're gonna try and stand up without using the help of your hands or the wall. So you're gonna step forward and step all the way up. Take your feet hip distance apart. Toes are pointing forward. So turn sideways a little bit so you can see as I squat down, my arms are coming forward. My shoulders are way forwards than my hips. Then I'm going to stand up, straight legs. Squatting down, arms stretch forwards, wrists are higher than the shoulders, shoulders are way forwards of the hips. Then I'm standing up. The backs of my legs are lifting me up. Glutes are lifting me up. So we want to practice our squats because it's kind of like when we step upstairs, we want the backs of the legs to push our weight up the stair or to lift our weight up. Try and take 4 more. 1, 2, 3. This one, let's stay low. This is the 4th one. Stay down, hold steady for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stand all the way up. Now you can use a wall or a chair if one's around you. We're going to take a figure 4 stretch standing. So cross your one ankle just over the other thigh and sit back so that you stretch for the outer glutes. Good. And then standing all the way up, cross the opposite ankle, and then sit low again. Good, and then standing up. Again, if you have a wall nearby or just a chair, step away from it, but keep your fingers supported there. You're gonna take a big side stretch, leaning over towards the wall, stretching all through the side of the waist here. And then lifting all the way up, and then just turn the other way, leaning up and over, stretching through the side of the body, and then standing all the way up. You're all finished. If you have any extra time for stretching, I would definitely take it. Otherwise, I'll see you next week. Thanks so much for coming.